I'm Paul Neal. I'm senior peer trainer for West Sussex Recovery College, and um, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the apprehensions that we were feeling when we had to move to when the current situation caused us to move as fast and as sensibly as we could from being out with the in the community in little venues and having students in front of us to moving to a digital platform, which is something that we've never really experimented with. And the very thought about having to learn how to do this to camera in front of people was really quite apprehensive making.
So I'm Helen Leafapard, and I'm a service user and a carer, and I've been working with the involvement in research office. We've been running a virtual cafe. Really, we've been running it since the start of lockdown, and we've been running it for all the people, all the service users and carers who've been involved in research. And we started running it more or less at the beginning of lockdown because we realised that people were feeling really cut off from the world, basically. And we thought we'd had some funding to run physical cafes, to run 4 physical and 4 virtual cafes. And we started running our first physical cafe when lockdown happened. So we were just at the beginning of the whole program. And we realized straight away that obviously we couldn't run the physical cafes. So we decided to just go virtual.
It became obvious that there were not so many barriers to it, provided we could get over the technological stuff. I use the word playing with it, I suppose. We were given the opportunity to come onto the platform, the GoToMeeting platform, and the Skype and all the rest of it, and literally with guidance from people who were more technically minded and were able to manipulate it. It was actually quite easy. And it took away all the apprehensions and the nervousness about the technological problems.
And you mentioned play, and I think that's quite interesting. Can you talk to us about a minute around play? What did that mean?
Well, it meant literally we were shown how to get onto the thing in the first place, so that as soon as you've got everybody in front of you and people there, you're able to see them for the first time, which was really important as well, because with lockdown you hadn't actually seen people's faces. We'd been relying on phone contact and all this sort of stuff, but when we got on there, and you indeed and others were able to say, right, we're going to now try and get somebody to be the host, one of the people around it to be the host, and see what you can do about sharing your screen, and if that doesn't work, we can go back and have another go at it. And literally you left us all in conversations that we were having, and using the equipment that we had and the slides that we had, being able to present them. So that took away all the mystery, if you like, and a lot of the fear, because once you start doing it, it's nothing like as difficult as we imagine it's going to be.
And when it first started, we didn't know what we were going to do, but what we'd anticipated were lots of technical problems, because people we assumed that most people hadn't used virtual platforms before. We'd sent out emails with lots of different resources, basically, on what to do if you got stuck. So we had found in Zoom there's a very big help center with lots of videos on how to do everything. They're very short, like 2 minutes long, on how to get in, how to set up an account, how to do everything, basically. There's a big Zoom help center with lots of different how-tos.
Oh, there's been major benefits, there's no doubt about that, particularly to me, because I've literally overcome my fear of the unknown on this stuff. There is nothing that has happened recently with sometimes people's broadband goes down. You might be in the middle of a conversation, like as I was with a fellow peer on a workshop recently, where we're supposed to be holding a two-way conversation about something to get a point across in a workshop, and their broadband went down and I was left talking to myself. Now, I think 6 months ago that could well have thrown me into a complete panic, and I'd run away. But we didn't. We handled it, and we discovered that we can have a third person in the team as well, who is twiddling knobs, if you like, and getting students settled down. And that is something that we learned, which enables us to get people feeling comfortable before they actually come onto the digital platform with us.
And I've found that some other people with anxiety prefer video. My daughter has terrible anxiety, and she would rather use video than phone. So for some people it's easier, I think, than the telephone. But I think it's definitely worth using a few times to see if you can get over that fear of just the screen. But my recommendation is just hide yourself. So you don't have to see yourself, and you can just see other people. Even the people with dementia managed to get in. So we had 21 people in our first Zoom, and nobody had any problems. They managed to use our resources and get themselves in. So yeah, we started off with 21 people. A couple of people who came left quite quickly. They stayed for maybe 15, 20 minutes. We asked, because we wanted to safeguard people and make sure they were okay, we asked at the beginning of the cafe that if anybody left, to let us know in the chat when they were leaving and if they were okay. So we do that with every virtual cafe we have.
And the other big thing, there's a big benefit. I'm convinced that there are some people who have been on our workshops and on our courses who would not otherwise have engaged with the Recovery College. That's a major benefit, and that's made me feel very, very strongly that the digital platforms will have a place forever